Hello everyone, my name is Semerci and my colleagues Ayşe and Duygu are from Hacettepe University, Turkey. And today I would like to explain you our research, which is a topic of popular with what and the implementation of market basket analysis of a Google Trend topics related to female employment. Actually, as we all know, the female employment is still a critical topic in all over the world, and gender gaps is still going on in participation, the labor force participation into the economies. And not only are women are less likely than men to participate in the labor force, also they have some limited alternatives as an employment. So when we look at the report of International Labour Office, you can see that the gap is, even if the gap is narrowing in developing and developed countries, it still continues, especially in emerging countries. So actually this is important to make some research, and it's important to go into details, especially in emerging countries. And about female employment and women participation into the labor force. So, but when we look at the field, when we look at the literature, and when we criticize the literature about their research methods, we can say that generally the methodological approach in female employment literature is let's say, focused on a survey methods, and data gathering is generally making by a survey. And in analyzing in statistical technical part, generally the traditional and classical techniques are used, and the unsophisticated measurement tools are used in, let's say, in empirical papers. So this is the important gap, or this is the important lacks in female employment literature. And actually these kinds of, let's say, findings motivate us to use the market basket analysis into this field. What we aim in this study aims to reveal and assess the public opinion, or the public, let's say, perceptions on female employment and any kinds of, let's say, female employment activities. Actually, we choose the different contexts to reveal and assess the public opinions within a different countries, within a different region. And also, as I said, we use the market basket analysis, which is generally used in marketing field. And as a data set, we use the Google Trends data. Google Trends data is one of the digital data platforms that provides a really big data set, and it provides a time series index of the volume of queries the users enter into Google in any time and in any given geographic area. So it provides really big data. This is a digital data platforms, and actually Google search engine is the most popular search engine in almost all over the world. So we thought that this data will be suitable for our aim, for our study. As I said, we make this research within a different region. How we choose the regions? Actually, we choose these regions according to Global Entrepreneurship Monitor reports, and we choose the East and South Asia and Europe and North America and these countries' data. At the first time for this part of the research, but for later, we are planning to extend with by adding Latin America and Middle East and Africa regions as well. Actually, Global Entrepreneurship Monitor are, I think many of you know that publishing many reports related to female employment and women entrepreneurship. So this regional categorization, this country-based categorization, we thought that would be appropriate also for our research. How we define the keywords to search in Google Trends data? Actually, we first use the widely used scales in female employment literature. Actually, we first search this research, and also our expertise in this field help us to define the keywords. First, we form a keyword pool, and then according to frequency of these keywords, we generate let's say, a word cloud, and we summarize this keyword list in order to search in Google Trend data. And as I said we use the market basket analysis as an analytical technique. A market basket analysis is a kind of data mining technique generally used by, let's say, businesses, generally used by retailers, in order to understand the purchasing patterns of their customers. So it involves analyzing the big data, a big data set like a purchase history, and it also reveals the product grouping or which product generally purchased together with which product. So it gives the association. It depends on the association rules. What's the association rules? The association rules are used to predict the likelihood of products being purchased together. So it counts the frequency of items that occur together, and seeking to find these associations that occur together with than expected. So it means that it's like a involves the use of machine learning models, and it depends it identifies the frequent if-then associations. What we mean by if and then? The association rules actually has two parts: the antecedents, which represent the if, and the consequent, which represent the then part. So the antecedent is an item found within a data, and the consequent is an item found in combination with the antecedent. So the association rules gives this relationship and the co-occurrence or the patterns of the data, which will be the patterns of the keywords, which will be the search terms the patterns of the search terms in our study. So it creates three outcomes, which we call as support, confidence, and the lift. The support is an indication of how frequently the items appear in the data. On the other hand, confidence indicates the number of times the if and then statements are found true, and the lift can be used to compare confidence with the expected confidence level. So these three outcomes give us help us to identify the relationship of search terms. So which keywords are created together, which is an antecedent, which is a confidence, which is a consequent, sorry, and the number of times that if and then statements are found true. So here you can see the formulas of support, confidence, and lift, let's say, indices. When we come to our findings, as I said you before, we just searched the South and East Asia and Europe and North America regions. When we look at the South and East Asia, we have 20 rules. Actually, we have different visualization. I think in here, in this figure, you can see these rules much more clearly. Actually, these figures tell us that the fertility, inequality, work-family conflict, work, discrimination, women empowerment has the highest level of association. And for example, fertility is the antecedent of inequality. Inequality is the consequence of fertility. Inequality is the antecedent in some term, let's say, sorry, work-family conflict is the antecedent of work that the women search generally together. So these terms, it means that in South and East Asia region, are generally searched together, and these terms, these keywords have some association, have some relationship paternical relationship in our data set. When we look at the Europe and North America, again, you can see the work-family conflict, obstacle barriers, or like let's say violence as a associated terms in for Europe and North America data set. Actually, we have a few rules in this region when you compare it with the South and East Asia. And if we would like to summarize our finding, actually, we can say that these two regions, according to women employment and the search terms pattern in these two regions are like this. In South and East Asia, discrimination, work-family conflict, inequality, work, women empowerment, and fertility are the mostly search keywords and mostly associated terms, while the obstacles, work family conflict, unemployment, women, violence and empowerment are the other mostly search and associated terms in Europe and North America region. When we look at their common points, actually work family conflict and empowerment can be seen that as the common points, the common associated terms for two regions, within a two regions. So this is important finding. It means that the women are generally searching these two terms together, and these two terms, the work-family conflict is particularly is important in female employment. Actually, this study is new and contribute to literature, especially in as an analysis technique. This technique, as I said before, generally used in a marketing field and let's say business administration field, but specifically in marketing field to investigate the purchasing patterns. But it can be also used to investigate the opinions and perceptions, which is also important for these kinds of social issues like female employment. Also, this study gives not only the frequency of popular terms, but also the association between these terms. So this is also important. And the association rules also indicate the terms that which is the antecedent and which is the consequence. And these association rules are occurred in different geographical areas and can reveal the picture of societies and, or let's say, the awareness of societies about the this kind of social issues. And some different, let's say, tools and programs are used in the studies. So to the best of our knowledge, this is the first study that used this analytical technique in this field, in employment field. So this is the most important contribution, and the findings can be expanded to different region or different with a different data set. Like all studies, of course, this study also has some limitations. The internet access and usage of the population is the most important limitation of our study. As you can see from this figure, there isn't any, let's say, homogeneity of internet usage. There are some important differences in countries. So this, of course, can affect our findings and our interpretation. This is an important point. Maybe in further studies, the most homogeneous countries in terms of internet access and usage can be chosen and can be, let's say, analyzed. And also the labor force participation rates is not homogeneous in countries and in region. Again, it can affect the findings and interpretations. So and for further studies, different time frame, different regions and country, or different geographical extension can be used, and with this analysis and can be found different, let's say, outcomes, different results, and this help us to have a more comprehensive result, comprehensive, let's say, interpretation for female employment. But I think this is important for us to apply this market basket analysis into this field and maybe help and would like to help future studies in their analytical technique. So thank you for your attention. I'm looking forward to meeting you on the conference day and time, and take your comments and questions. Thank you for your listening.